magandang tanghali po dito sa Seattle, Washington. And of course, magandang gabi sa Italy and the Philippines. Early morning and good morning. So good morning, magandang tanghali, good noon, at good evening. And we're having a nice weather now. In fact, for the last 3 days, we're having a sunshine in Seattle, Washington. And we have a guest today by the name of ASIA Hilario, an Achology Certified Life Coach, crisis counselor, philanthropist, motivational speaker, what have you. A very, very good person, ASIA Hilario. Go ahead, D. Greet our friends.
Hey everyone, this is D. Aligrado. We are so lucky today. We have a very good warm weather here in Seattle. Well, our guest speaker today is ASIA Hilario, and she's actually based, I believe, in Sacramento. But she's a half-caste Filipino Chamorro, so I would greet all Gomeños and anybody from U.S. Trust Territory, half a day.
Alvin, go ahead.
Hello, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat mula dito sa Rome, everybody. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat diyan sa Seattle. Nagsisimula pa lang ang araw in Seattle at dito naman ay magtatapos na ang araw. It's already 8:30 in the evening dito sa Roma, no? So mga kababayan, we will be having a very special guest today and we will really be motivated hindi lang sa storya na to but also with her beauty. So, we would like to present to you all. Ano ba, Tito Rolly?
Pakanta muna. Alam mo naman ang mga listener natin right now.
Yes, okay.
For your love song.
Yes, Tito Rolly.
Women's Month pa rin ngayon. That's why we have a very good guest, Asia. That's why you have to play the love song for her. Okay.
Ay, hindi. For our music, kailangan talaga energetic tayo ngayong araw na to kasi it's already Thursday and tomorrow will be Friday. And definitely, we should be having more energy for the weekend. Kaya naman, we have Madeline Reynes for Mr. Disco. Hey,
What happened to your song?
so,
Di mo lang alam ang aking nadarama. Iniisip
Okay, Mr. Disco, and now our guest, Asia Hilario.
Napaka.
Asia, can you greet our, before we show the video, can you greet our listeners, please? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Asia. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's such a pleasure. And I can't wait to dive into today's show. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome to Film Journal Radio. Go on with the video who Asia is. I'll be back. Yeah, put it.
Guys, this is very exciting kasi we will be having Asia on our episode for today. And to know more about Asia, we have a video that will be explaining who she is. So let's all watch it.
As a little girl, I had the assumption that everyone was beaten, struck down for every mistake. Busted lips and black and blue became the norm for me. I counted the days until I could escape it, but little did I know it would follow me into adulthood. I had low self-esteem. I didn't feel deserving of good things. I gave up on any goal I started. Silly me. How could I think I can be successful at anything? How can I think I was worthy of good things in life? I took the bus everywhere, and I even slept on the floor because I couldn't afford a real bed. I hated myself. I always looked in the mirror with disgust. I attracted toxic friendships and relationships. I despised how happy people were. Can you believe that? Why was I chosen to live such a pitiful life? I didn't think there was a way out. Until there was. Once I picked up my first self-help book, I couldn't stop. I read book after book. Why didn't anyone tell me the answers to life were in books? I became obsessed with bettering my life and thought to myself, other women need to have this info too. These tools were life-changing. So I started a blog, writing about things I've learned and sharing my stories. Women used my stories as maps to navigate through their struggles. My blog readership grew globally, read in 160 different countries. I started getting invited to speak at events, landed interviews on podcasts, news stations, and landed on the front pages of newspapers. I was even awarded Woman of the Year 2019 by Women on the Rise for the lives I changed through my stories. I became a fearless entrepreneur, working for myself and myself only. With so much success from my blog, I finally decided it's time to share my story. It was time to open up the floor for other incredible women to share their stories too. But this time, on a podcast. To glow up means to transform to the point where you're almost unrecognizable. It's glow up season, sis. Are you ready?
Asia Hilario.
Hi.
Wow.
Anyway, Asia, how are you motivated by my first question?
How
What?
am I?
Yeah, I hope you don't mind. How are you motivated by Kane Ramsey?
Oh,
Who-
how am I motivated by him or how am I
Yes, him.
motivated in general?
No. By him first, before you came into this being a motivational speaker.
Yeah,
Well,
I was motivated by his story. You know, a lot of life coaches, I think majority of life coaches, they become life coaches because they're able to pull themselves they're able to be resilient. They've been through, you know, something pivotal in their life that just made them turn their life around, and then they teach others to do the same. And that's exactly what my story is. And so that's what was motivating for me.
And you. Anyway, uh, I would say, is there anything that's how you started actually, right?
Yes, I started off as a blogger.
Oh, you started as a blogger, then
I
become a motivator.
Yeah,
I thought it's the other way around.
I was motivated, and then I started a blog, and then I started getting invited to speak at events, and then I just launched a podcast, and so yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Ah.
It's a
Beautiful.
good platform actually, right?
It's
Yes,
a good.
Oh, but first, maybe Tita Dolor will be.
no,
How are you connected to Tita Dolor? How
I,
did you two
I believe
met?
my mom.
Ah.
Yes, yes.
oh,
I
any
actually
question for
have
D?
I actually have a questions to Asia in
Mm-hmm.
regards to because this month actually we're celebrating a woman
Man,
celebration, Women's Day celebration. So my question to you is because you are here trying to empower women, and my question is how what is your opinion in terms of women geared to run as a president of any countries, for instance like in here in United States, or a governor in Guam, or just about how would you like to describe your opinion in regards to that?
I think that there needs to be more representation as far as women in politics. There's a lot of laws, especially in America and other countries
Oh.
police police women's bodies, and I feel like there would be a lot more change if there were more representation, more women in politics, and so
Yeah.
that I firmly believe that we should move towards electing more women politicians, and also in businesses, CEOs. It's very unbalanced, men versus women up in the higher places. So I think that needs to change.
actually, Asia, isn't it that women has broke the ceiling already by this time, as we can always say. There are so many CEOs that has been lady CEO. So I would say there's an equal treatment right now. And being a motivational speaker, I would say you can motivate more women to break that ceiling more often, right?
Hmm. Yes, I think I don't necessarily think it's equal yet. I think it's a lot of progress, but in terms of numbers, right? I just watched a video last week. Vice President Kamala Harris asked another politician to name if there's any uh, laws policing, men's bodies, and he was like frozen because there isn't, and so I think there's been a lot of progress over the past decades, but I still think there's a long way to go. So.
Oh, yes,
Uh,
yes, I agree. But I would say that at least you have broke that ceiling already.
Oh
Uh,
yes, thank
yeah,
you.
even the topmost 500, there are about 200 women CEO right now. It's almost there.
mm.
It's almost 50%, I would say.
Yeah.
Uh,
For
yes, go ahead, Alvin.
Yeah, so Asia is an Achology Certified Life Coach. What's what does it mean? Achology. For those who doesn't know about it.
It's just a certain type of study,
Mm-hmm.
and specifically the instructor, he specializes in that.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
she's also a crisis counselor, philanthropist, and motivational speaker. What a girl! Like, she's so young. She looks so young. And so, how do you ended up doing this career?
So specifically, I'm a self-love coach. Pardon me. So ecology is the study of human lives and human being.
Oh,
And so specifically, I cater to self-love in women. And
mm,
and then crisis counselor for crisis text line, it's for those who are in crisis, like feeling suicidal or who are at very low places. They text this number, and it's a nonprofit, and I'm on the other end, also with thousands of other volunteers. So we help them de-escalate and get them to a safer place. So
So
oh,
it's a modern applied psychology. Would you say so?
I would say so, yes.
self love coaching. It's very. I don't know. It's my first time. It's almost always investment leadership, business leadership, and other sorts of of those stuff. But self love coaching, it's it's our question actually. How does self love coaching work?
So that's a great question. And so when I first launched, I was a general life coach, so just very big umbrella. And then my instructor told me to niche down. It's called niche, to be very specific with who I serve. And I
Mhm.
was like, well, how do I know who I serve, right? And he was like, just pay attention to who is coming to you for your services. And a lot of the women that were coming to me were women who lost a lot of confidence, have self-esteem issues and stuff, like after a breakup. And so,
Mm.
yeah, so they naturally gravitated towards me, because I just went through a breakup last year. And so I think that they resonated with my story. So, then I specifically catered to self-love. And in my program, I have a 12-week program. We go over the 7 S's of self-love, and that's self-awareness, self-exploration, self-care, self-esteem, and self-kindness. So, and self-respect also. So those are the 7 S's. So um, there's a lot of things under the self-love umbrella, like setting boundaries, wellness, self-esteem, so like self-confidence, self-awareness, being aware of your emotions and your thoughts and like your inner critic and inner dialogue. So it's a very big umbrella, actually.
So does it mean that you already experienced this stuff, this trauma, this depression, this anxiety towards oneself? For
100%.
so I was looking, I was watching your blog, and like you were a speaker on a certain event, and like you were being pushed back by your boyfriends, your exes, and I don't know who the guys are. No, it's like, and also I think it's also applicable to work, to jobs, your boss, everything. So from
100%.
this experience, you really did overcome this by having the right trainings and maybe approaches to this kind of self-love coaching.
Yeah, and I think experience is the number one teacher. You could study how to ride a bike through books, but until you actually put yourself on a bike, you're going to really learn, right? So I I have both. I have the study, and then I also have a lot of life experience. So
Okay.
So,
In this regard, Asia, regarding oncology, I would say, how did you come about? Since you said we have to learn, like going into biking, I agree with you. Before you learn, you have to study. You have to get the way you eat your way into anything. So, what motivated you really to get into this aside from your story?
Um, I firmly believe that when it's a domino effect when you help someone, especially when you help someone realize their potential, when you build someone up internally, build their confidence, their self-esteem, and help them believe in themselves, it's a domino effect. And I see
Mhm.
this in my clients. They, their friends and their coworkers and their bosses notice their increase in confidence, and then they want to know and they learn to build their confidence. So it's a domino effect. So I think that building up someone goes affects communities, affects families, affects friends, and so I just that's my life mission is to. I know it seems cliche, but my life mission is to just to make the world a better place, more peaceful.
No, definitely.
speaking of mission,
Definitely.
actually, her mission,
By
as
the way,
stated,
Yes.
wait, wait, Alvin,
I am
uh,
ready for this. Actually,
Alvin,
her
wait,
mission, yes,
Alvin, wait.
yes,
Uh,
Tito Rolly.
what's this? Uh, I forgot what I'm gonna ask. Assuming it. Anyway, you mean you do this as a career, actually, right?
Yes, full time.
Full time.
Full
Okay.
time. I
So
was
they
able
can
to.
enroll to you. They can enroll. How do they enroll to your blogs, or how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, so Asia Hilario. So there it is. You guys have it. Amazing. So that's my website.
Mhm.
And you can book a consultation call. I also have a podcast where I share a lot of my tips through my podcast. If that's not if one-on-one coaching or group coaching isn't something that you're comfortable doing yet, so you can get my coaching through podcasts, my podcast episodes. So yeah.
Yeah. Any question, D?
Oh, she's nag-exit lang po si Tita D. So, Isha, is it only for women?
Yes.
Can we have can we also have coaching from you?
To be honest, I feel like women have more pressure in terms of pressure from society, pressure from a lot of outside sources that I don't think men go through, like for example, work life balance.
Mhm.
A lot of you don't see it's not common for men to seek out coaches for balancing their lives. It's mostly women, right? And if you see, we have pressures. Oh, her skirt's too short. Oh, her skirt's too long. Oh, she doesn't spend time. She works too much. She doesn't spend enough time with the kids. Oh, she's at home. She doesn't have her own job. So I feel like we are under a lot more pressure, and so I specifically serve women. Not men.
Oh,
There's a
we're
lot.
very,
It's very
guys,
By the
we're
way,
very sorry for this.
by the way, Asia, you mean to say if I enroll in your class, you won't accept me?
Yes, Tito Rolly.
correct.
She
Yes,
will not.
Why
precisely.
not? I mean, there
I
are
want to
men.
know to love myself.
There are men really who needs not only love, regarding love. It's not about regarding love. It's about giving self confidence, because there are so many men that doesn't have this kind of self esteem, I would say,
Mhm.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Why don't you also? I mean, I would like to encourage you to give, give some
I think
motivation
there will be more clients on this one.
to men, I would say, isn't it?
It's like, guys,
There's
listen to
My
me.
question.
Dee, do you have any question?
Well, seems like Rolly, you already throw my questions to Asia. I thought I would say in an early statement from her, she mentioned that she's under the 501c3 nonprofit organization, and then when you throw the question like, can she accept something for men, in the program, and I said, would that be kind of a discrimination if you will not afforded to help a man too?
Yeah, I agree with Dee.
Is it like quite sexist
I
at all?
agree with Dee. Come on, Dee. Try to convince Asia.
I don't know if it would be discrimination. I just feel like my program is very women specific.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't. I don't know if women or men would be able to relate as much to my content.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Actually, I was really reading. I was reading her website. I was reading her website, and what do they do? It's like, okay, so girls really do need this kind of awareness, and it's also you're also tackling mental health.
Yes, very much so. I'm a huge mental health advocate.
So, but first, what is the wrong perception of people about mental health?
The stigma around mental health is that if someone has a mental disorder, that they are crazy, or and when you talk about therapy, and I openly talk about therapy on my social media channels,
Mhm.
a lot of people are like, why is she doing that? Like, does she want everyone to know she's, crazy or things like that? But I think by me being open about what therapy really is, and making and the importance of mental health, it has shined light on what it really is, right? So I have a lot of emails and DM direct messages from people saying they thought they were the only ones feeling this way. So my
Mhm.
mission is to share my story so no one could feel alone in their struggles. A lot of people suffer in silence because they don't think that anybody would understand them, and then they don't get help. So it's I think it's every 30 seconds someone dies via suicide
Oh,
in the world, every 30
my
seconds.
yeah,
God.
yes, yes.
My
While
It's
God.
even less. It's
So it's
even
Wow.
really
less.
important. It's really important that you also talks about mental health, especially for women, that they don't have this kind of let's say awareness on how to cope up with. I think I've seen girls crying, not because of me, okay? I've seen girls crying over a breakup, over something, over performances on jobs, on job related, let's say, and then I saw them crying, and it's like, even I, as a man, really don't know how to approach this kind of stuff and to open up a conversation. Does it really take a woman to explain to another woman?
Yeah, I think sometimes it just depends on who it is. Sometimes it has to do with trust. Some women don't trust men because of childhood trauma, or past trauma, not even just in childhood, and so we develop distrust in certain,
Mm.
and same with men, vice versa. If, say for example, if a man doesn't trust women because his mom left him when he was younger, right? So it just stems, a lot of the way that people behave and the thoughts and the actions is due to what happened in our childhood. So just being understanding of that and having that perspective
Mm.
is important. So
So So, Tito, about you, Tita D, do you have any questions to Asia about mental health and her
Yes.
classes with only for girls classes?
Well, my question is, of course, since we are having this pandemic, and I just want to find out from her some pointers or how we cope with stress management, because I myself, I was a victim of this pandemic as well. I got COVID a few months ago, and I just want to know, to find out from you.
Pardon me, what was the question? Can you please repeat the question?
My question is, during this pandemic, what are the pointers you can provide regarding stress management?
Yes.
I think that what I actually just hosted a workshop on this, but reaching out to people, even if it's virtual, I think a lot of people underestimate the power and the healing through reaching out, and just because it's not in person, it's still a form of connection with someone, and that could reduce a lot of the isolation, the feelings of isolation. And so just making sure we are scheduling time via FaceTime or Zoom with those that we love, our friends, because at first, when the pandemic first hit, I thought that Zoom parties or like FaceTime parties were kind of silly, but it was a way of connection, and it actually made me feel a lot better in terms of like depression and like stress. And so just making sure you reach out to people on a regular basis too. And getting outside too. Having the sun on your skin, it does things for your mood and for your health, especially like your immune system. So just getting outside in nature and not being cooped up in your house all day. So
So so you rediscover like also yourself before doing this coaching.
yes.
So you really are you stated that you are self-centered before, and then on your video you were telling that you had that opportunity that you will be I mean that you had the opportunity now to share these things that you've learned by
Yeah.
having some blogs, and then you made this as a career, life coaching. And I really thought that this was just a made up career before. When I was searching over the web, it's like there's a lot of coaching in the world. Like, and, like, and then when and then this week I was reading about your website. I'll be featuring your website right now. Let me share. Let me share your website.
Anyway, yeah.
The
Well,
I
beautiful, the
well, I'll be
beautiful
looking for,
website, the
yeah,
beautiful website of
ASIA
Asia
HILARIO.
Hilario.
you. I built that.
Oh,
Hold on, Alvin. While you are looking for the website, why don't we play our second song
yes,
right
the one.
now for our listeners? So stay on. Asia will be on with you. We have lots more things to talk about her and her motivational uh, blogs and speaking engagement.
Yes, hi, I'm Asia.
Go ahead, Alvin.
Dati ang aking buhay ay kulang sa sigla. Parang kay bigat
Yes, ang gaan-gaan ang feeling.
Yes, super gaan ang feeling natin dahil kasama natin si Asia. At talaga namang, Asia, do you know any Filipino song?
Just the ones that my parents listen to in karaoke when they sing.
Which one?
Very Filipino.
There's so many. There's so many. I wish I knew the name, but
I
there's.
hope it's not my way.
Oh, probably.
Because
Okay.
every Filipino knows that song in karaoke. Anyway, we have some listeners: Kiko Gaspay, Maria Linda Nugit from the Philippines, Birban Fernandez from Seattle, Vicky Navarro, and of course, one of our co-hosts, Maricres Valdez Castro. I definitely want to sign up for your coaching.
Yes.
You remember that name? One of our co-hosts who's supposed to be here. Yeah. Anyway, and Vicky Roland Lastimasa. Go ahead. Any
So this
question?
is the website of AsiaHilario.com. And you want to know more about Asia, you can just sign up AsiaHilario.com and you can visit that. And you can work with her. So- yeah.
Okay. Going back to oncology. Is it ecology or ecology?
Ecology.
Asia. Yeah.
Ecology.
So it's dealing with some self motivation, mental health, or what have you. But really, when you take the course that you offer, how long does it take?
12 weeks.
Oh, 12 weeks. So
Yeah.
12.
it's a continuing every day, 5 days a week, 12 weeks.
It's 12 weeks, and then I meet for 1 hour with each client per week, and then I give them homework in between sessions. So it's kind of like a
Oh.
class.
How many hours a day? I would say.
Just 1 hour a week.
Oh,
1 hour a week per client. Per
So,
per per client.
oh,
Oh.
per client.
So they have a date with Asia
Yes.
once a week.
Yes.
12 sessions, 12 hours with Asia. And she's giving exercises for them to discover themselves, I think.
Yes. Correct.
And can you, if you don't mind, can you give us some, I would say, like a prospectus, how it goes about, how do you go about this learning?
Yeah, how do you approach that? On your first day, for example, for the first day, I had a broke up with my boyfriend.
Does it deal only with love?
Yeah.
No, I even have clients. I onboarded a client who wanted help with more confidence to speak up in a boardroom.
Oh,
So
That's
it's a lot of it's a lot of leadership
yeah.
as well. So
That's
mhm.
more important than
yeah.
having such
It's
a
not
fun
actually.
story about
Icebreaker.
love and everything. I would say,
Uh-huh.
like a politician, I would say, can you be a kingmaker behind a politician?
Can you sorry, what was the question?
Hmm?
Can you be a kingmaker? Every politician has somebody on her or his back that makes him, you know, really, or like a guy or like a woman. There must be somebody at the back of her, really, to guide her.
Kind of like a right-hand man, you mean?
No, 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 no. To guide, not a right hand. That's a girl Friday or not.
Some
But
sort of
really,
manage,
somebody who
some
makes,
sort of manager,
who,
career
no, no,
manager.
not even a manager.
Oh.
It's more than a manager.
Okay, Tito
In
Rolly, we
every
get it.
politician, there's always somebody behind him. Do you know that? That really
Okay.
gives him motivation. Who builds him in everyday life. He guides him on every speech that he makes. That's how politician makes it.
Okay.
So just like what Diaz touched, I would say, can you be one of those kind?
I would say if I had a choice to,
Mm.
I don't know if I would be in politics,
No,
but
no, no, not really in politics. But if somebody touches you, I would say, since you are giving out these things, a motivational career, I would say, can you do it that way? Can you guide
yeah,
somebody? Can you guide
yes,
somebody?
yes, I
That's
think
what I meant.
I do that now. I do that now with my clients because self love is there's a very big umbrella. There's a
Yes.
lot of setting
Yeah.
boundaries at work, speaking up, having the confidence, and so
Mhm.
it all falls under self love. Just the relationship you have with yourself
Yeah.
sets the
Self-esteem.
tone.
I would
Sets the
say
tone.
it's
Mhm.
bigger.
So
Being
it's more
independent.
on beyond self discovery. It's um, we have this class in college in the university. It's how do you call it, Tita Dolor?
Which one? Both.
Uh, I don't
Well,
know.
here's the thing. If I understand correctly, what Roll is trying to say is that are you trying to emphasize if she can help someone to build self-esteem and
Yes.
to build some confidence? Example, if I want to be a leader, of course, Asia will be there to build confidence, self-esteem. What else? Be
Yeah.
motivated
Self,
as you
self,
know.
self-esteem is bigger than anything else. Correct me if I'm
Of
wrong.
course,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's one of the 7 S's that I named at the beginning, and also just being able to silence the inner critic in you and the outer critics. You know, not letting outside forces get to you because believing you have great decisions and great ideas, because that's a common thing with my clients is they don't speak up because they think that they're not knowledgeable, or what if someone judges what I say, but they have very valuable knowledge to share to the world. So just empowering them to use their voice is huge in my program.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And how
well,
can you?
here's the thing. I know some women, no matter how intelligent they are, how smart they are, but they're still inside them having the inferiority complex. And that's the reason why it's very hard for them to speak independently. Is that correct?
Yeah, you mean imposter syndrome? Imposter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I work a lot. A lot of my clients, we work through that. Correct.
So how
Great.
can you give us one example how you really motivate a person, a lady, I would say,
So I wouldn't, like motivated or in terms of
empowering. I mean, a lady, I would say, not
um,
exactly a certain one, but in general.
yeah, I would say that one of the ways that I empower women is just showing them a different perspective and giving them knowledge as to why their inner voice is so loud. So when we're able to, there's a lot of negative self-talk, and that's a lot of has to do with imposter syndrome. Also, is how we speak to ourselves. Just helping, giving them the tools to quiet that negative self-talk that is very loud, that clouds their thoughts and their actions, and just creating that voice so that it's productive, that it serves them instead of hinders their growth. So just it's all about rewiring in your mind. Since we were younger, there was a lot of things and experiences and people who had um, told us things, and we created stories in our heads, and these stories replay over and over again, and sometimes those stories don't serve us. So it's all about rewiring to better stories that help us achieve whatever we want to. So it's all I always say rewiring, it's reprogramming our mind to serve us
I
better.
was about, I was about to ask you what rewiring. Maybe that's your
Yes.
lingo in your I would say programs, but
So for
definitely it's something else, right?
Yeah, so I'll just briefly, I'll give you an example. So say if you had a teacher in the fifth grade that said, there's no way you can be a successful um, businessman, right? There's no way because you're lazy or whatever. That thing sticks in your mind, that thought sticks in your mind and replays over and over again. And years pass, 20 years pass, 30 years pass, and that's the voice that tells you that you'll never amount to nothing. So of course you're going to believe it because it's been there for 30 years, right? So deconstructing that, taking that thought apart, and then rewording it and telling yourself a different story, because our thoughts are very powerful. So that's what I mean by rewiring. Just taking that thought, ripping it up, and then writing a new story for you, because your mind follows whatever you tell it. So just noticing that thought doesn't serve you is
Is
key.
it your subconscious mind that really gets into all these things before
Yes.
your actual mind comes in? Is it
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And one of our listener has asked you, have, are you a psychology major?
No, I am not a psychology major, but Ecology Certified has to do with that as well.
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So, and
So
I'll read
it's,
books.
I would say, Asia, it's more than being a psychologist, being a certified ecology.
Yes.
I would say that life coaching is a lot of different things. It's a lot of motivation, a lot of actionable items. I think that the biggest question I get is, what's the difference between life coaching and therapy?
Yeah.
Therapy is more like coping mechanisms, whereas I think coaching is more action oriented, more planning for the future, looking at your past, but only to be looking forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
So
yes.
Asia,
Yes.
I have a question for you. Nowadays that we are all into social media, and there's a lot of I don't know, depressing moments, especially for girls, like body shaming. So, can you give some, at least some words for those listeners that right now are into this kind of depression, and I think they are into this deep down low self-esteem because of this kind of judgment of people on body shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that people underestimate how strong social media is in terms of self-esteem. Because when we're scrolling, we think it's harmless, right? Because we scroll all the time. But anytime your mind gets, you look at the picture, you feel some type of way about it, and if it's constantly negative feelings, you're feeding your mind that, right, when you're scrolling. And that's why sometimes we feel exhausted after scrolling, or we feel worse off than before we started scrolling. So it's just being mindful of the content that you're consuming, especially like for the pandemic last year, when it first started, consuming all the negative news, and you notice that you feel heavier, right? You feel more worried or more anxious. It's because you're
Yes.
consuming all this negative news and you're not balancing it out with positive. So just making sure there's a balance.
So I would say you always keep the positive point of view than dealing with the negative point of view. So
Yeah. And
being a
also,
positive person will always be on the right track. Do you agree?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Being a positive person will always be on the right track. Do you agree with me?
I think that positive and negative but just making sure that they're balanced instead of too much negative, because happiness isn't the absence of negativity, right? Happiness is being able to deal with negativity, to be resilient when negativity enters our lives. I don't think that happiness is the absence, because no, everybody has negativity, right? We can't just live a negative free life. So I think it's nice to have the balance.
So we have a question here from Kiko Gaspay. Hi, Aisha. Please define happiness for you.
Happiness is for me is not being stagnant in my self growth and appreciating where I'm at and how far I've come. And like I said, with the whole negativity, I don't I feel sad sometimes, right? And just knowing that life comes in waves, you're up and you're down, but just not beating yourself up for being down. It's just how life is. So that's my definition of happiness, is being able to handle what life throws at you with grace and not be at the mercy of what gets thrown at us.
Yeah, that's good. I
It's
agree
very
with you
nice.
100%.
No,
And
because most of
I
the
think,
people are.
yeah,
Yeah.
another question, Alvin. There's one listener by Linda Nugid. What are the
Yes.
bases for your
What
program?
are the basis of your
Because each
programs?
person have
Because
different
each person have different personalities. Yes, that's true. So how do you manage this, and how do you make the programs for your clients?
Yeah, so I have each in the 12 weeks, each there's a theme, right? Like self-confidence, self-respect, but each person, I get to know each person on an individual level. So it's very customized, because it's not like a one size fit all.
Uh-huh.
So just being mindful that every person is different. And just getting to know them on the call, and that's what the one-on-one, the whole hour is for, is just to get to know the different types of personalities and the different stories. Everyone has a different story. So yeah, it's a syllabus, but it's also very customized.
So when
Uh,
you deal with your clients, I would say not pupils, clients, I would say you deal it with their own personality. So
Yes.
each one has its own. That's why
Yeah.
you take it day by day, I would say.
Yes, case by case. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
after the 12 week, is it finished, or do you still continue to be there on their side?
Well, my goal as a coach is to equip them with tools and the knowledge to have them leave the nest, right? Go and be great. But they can sign up with me to continue coaching one-on-one, but not with the syllabus, just hopping on a call with me.
Mhm.
However, bi-weekly, once a month, all those things. But my goal with the 12-week program is that they are very self-sufficient and they're not reliant on me holding them accountable. I want to equip them so they build the self-trust that they can hold themselves accountable.
But
That's good.
they can always consult you in the future. I mean,
Yes.
after getting this certification,
Yes.
they can always come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And free of charge,
Good.
free of charge when they consult
Um,
you. Mm-hmm.
Depending on what they need. So if they need individualized, hop on a call with me to work through problems that they have, then that is not free. But if they're reaching out to tell me about, you know, their accomplishments, and like, I'm really good friends with all of my clients, my current clients and the clients that graduated. So I talk to them on a regular basis, but when I do charge for my one-on-ones, if that
Mhm.
answers your questions.
Yes. During the course of the 12 weeks, but after the
Oh,
12 weeks, do you still charge every time they call you up?
yes, I believe that that professionals should be compensated for their time, for
Yes.
their expertise. So yes, I do.
Oh, so every time they call you, you charge them, something like that.
They have to book a session, like a 60-minute session with me to
Mhm.
hop on a call.
But
So
Mhm.
asking for a simple guidance, I would say, as a friendly thing, as you said, you have been friends with all your uh, clients before, so
um
they can always consult you in a few matters. I would say.
so one of my weeks in my 12-week program is self-respect, and that includes boundaries. So for me, um, if I'm teaching clients to uphold boundaries with other people, then it would not be there would be a dissonance if I didn't uphold boundaries between me and a client. So I do, even if it's like little, advice here and there, that's still my time.
Yeah.
So
Actually, I agree on that.
it's like if you reach out to a therapist for like little,
Oh yeah, that's a
you know,
different thing. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a different thing. I would say
Yes.
just like a friend.
I
Hey,
really do agree on that. What Asia
uh,
said, that we have to set boundaries
oh yes,
of
yes. But
of being a coach and
uh,
being a
being,
friend or
being
being
a
somebody
friend,
else.
yeah.
Alvin, being a friend is different than being a coach.
That's
Yes.
true.
Okay. I would say, like, since the Lord mentioned that she's a 501c3, or your non-profit organization is a 501c3, so it doesn't mean you can charge always.
For
The
the
rule of
crisis,
501c3.
oh,
That's
for the
that's
Mm.
crisis counselor.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for the crisis counselor, that's for a nonprofit that I'm also
Right,
separate, but
right.
that's in crisis, and that's also, I'm anonymous on the crisis text line,
Oh, I see.
so they
Mm.
So,
She's
can't reach
part.
out to me.
She is
so
part
you
of
serve.
that program, but she's giving her time for free for certain organizations, but
Yes.
she
Mhm.
is anonymous to people that she's
Oh,
helping
yeah.
out there.
So
Oh,
And by the way,
your
if you're looking
non-profit
for
is,
something or you need
excuse
to
me,
listen,
Alvin,
yes po.
your non-profit is something that you really help people.
Yes, that's one
Oh,
of the
you
great
were not,
things.
I'm not asking you, Alvin. I'm asking Asia.
Ah, sorry.
Sorry,
Di
I
kasi
didn't hear the
putol-putol eh.
question. What
So
was
your
it?
non-profit, we can connect with you like our non-profit here. Kopau has a big coalition here, which Dolor and I are leading, so we can connect each other, I would say.
Yeah, I am definitely open to hearing more about your nonprofit. Yes.
yes.
Mhm.
Oh, good. And I think Dee
Yes.
can give you a background of what we are here.
Yeah.
It's a big Filipino American
I bet.
coalition. It has been here
Wow.
for the last 70 years.
Right.
So definitely we can connect each other when it comes
Okay.
to
Yeah,
nonprofit
I would
organization.
love to hear
Yeah,
more.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure the Lord will tell about it.
But
Yes,
guys,
Well, we will provide you all the
the Lord.
information. And of course, it's not only about COFA, Rolly, but also some of our member associations under COFA.
Yes.
They're also
When
under
I say
501c3.
and we
when I say COPAW, it's the coalition
okay,
uh,
okay.
Exactly.
membership.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So, anyways, guys, if you are trying
Mhm.
to have some information and other some help sorry self love, you can catch Asia Hilario on her podcast, so you can have time to listen to her if you have time, I think this is one of the most interesting podcasts I know. It's like she's tackling about abandonment issues, attachment, love and sense of toxic relationships. If you want to know more about this stuff, Asia is giving some talks on her podcast for free. Though, if you really need someone to listen to you and coach you, you can visit Asia on her website. And
Yeah.
it's 12 times that you can talk to her.
Actually, the podcast is when? Can you give us your podcast time so our listener can listen to you also?
Yeah, it's every I just launched in January. And I put out a new podcast episode every other Tuesday. Um
Mhm.
I actually just when I launched my first week of launch, I ranked top 75 on Apple Podcasts
Oh,
for
I
the
Mhm.
will be
first
following you right now.
in my genre. So I'm very proud of that. I put a lot of my heart into this podcast, so I'm very proud of that.
We will advertise your podcast since they can
Yes, we
help
will
your
be
podcast.
referring this, especially
Definitely
that.
with our followings, you can add it on to your podcast if you don't
Yes,
mind.
many of our followers here are women, and I personally be endorsing Asia to everybody right now who is experiencing things that are not really good, especially on relationships, on your career, especially, especially that now is pandemic and there's a lot of struggles on your career. So maybe Asia can help you to manage your emotions, your anxiety, and everything. So you have 12 times, 12 hours to talk with, and some assignments that she told us, but it's personalized, right, Asia?
Yes, correct.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, it's one on one actually.
So everything is
Uh,
personalized depending on the situation you have in life.
Yes.
and one of our listeners, Nikki, got that. Nikki is following us with with her husband Noel, and also Kiko Bertka Willis watching also another community leader. Yeah.
Hi
Anyway,
everyone.
don't leave yet, and we'll have more on Asia. Your next song, Alvin,
Yes.
please go.
Yeah. Really, Asia, you still don't know any Filipino song?
Would you
I
like to
wish I
request one?
remembered. I wish I remembered the names of the song.
But definitely this song will not be this type of your father's from Bicol, right? I don't know, no. It's a Bisaya.
Bacolod.
Yeah, from Bacolod.
Bacolod.
Bacolod,
From
it's
Bacolod.
Bisaya, it's
Yeah.
Waray
And
or
her
Bisaya.
mother is a Guamanian, right?
Chamorro. So
No,
from
Chamorro. Yeah, yeah.
Saipan.
Okay.
So
Go
this is
ahead.
a Visayan song. To all the Bisaya out there, this is our song for you.
Wa na ni laing padulngan paingon ako pagkabuang tinagyod nimo ni kapugngan pa pagkadali saw ako saw aog tarong kusog ra
a Visayan song actually. Muna
Yes.
kong kasing-kasing. You know what it means, Alvin?
No, maganda lang pakinggan talaga
No,
siya.
actually, it's about,
I think the most
the father of
I think
Asia is from Bacolod. They speak
Bacolod.
Ilonggo. They speak Ilonggo.
They speak
They,
Ilonggo.
they don't speak Cebuano. This is Cebuano. Kasing-kasing is
Ilonggo.
about a girlfriend or a boyfriend, something like that.
Ah.
So, yeah, it's a good song though. Yeah. Yeah, ang dami pa natin nakikinig right now. Dwayne Dumblao, well, of course, Vilma Fernandez is there. Of course, Nikki Aquino, the wife of Noel, the former president of Papio. And of course, Kiko, Maricres Valdez, Vicky Navarro, and everybody. Yes, any more question from D? D?
Oh, seems like we're already satisfied with all her explanation and just hoping that all viewers can actually follow this broadcasting so that they
Actually,
will be more aware of the show.
I'll be featuring her website also on my
Yes.
talks on my Facebook and YouTube account maybe. It's also for my friends out there that I know that they're really having a real hard time right now. It's like I have. Pardon me, Asia. I have a question. Do you have family already?
No, I don't. I don't.
Very single. I
Oh,
would say.
single, guys. She's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
single.
Anyway, another reason I said kasing-kasing means heart to heart. That's what it means,
Ah.
Asia. So
So
that's
Asia is still
one of the dialect in the Philippines, I would say. And you are from Sacramento right now, isn't that's true, Asia? I think Asia is hanging up. Yung Wi-Fi niya is
Mhm.
not working well.
Yeah.
Asia, yes. Anyway, as we go on, you might have some announcement while Asia is fixing her thing right now. Asia, are you on?
So, that's it.
Anyway, any more? Yeah,
Pardon me.
Yeah.
your Wi-Fi.
Sorry.
So Asia,
Sorry, my connection.
very good. Very good.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
okay,
Yeah,
but I have something to ask Asia. Asia,
Yes.
as written on your website, you believe that every woman deserves to receive the unconditional love she so freely gives to others. What does it mean?
I think that as women, we are givers, natural givers, and sometimes we put others' needs before our own. It's very common in what I see in my clients and in my past self as well. So just reminding women that they deserve the what they give out. They deserve it back. They deserve the love. They deserve the help. A lot of us help others so freely, but then when it comes for us to ask for help, we're very hesitant. So it's just a reminder that we deserve everything that we put out.
Hmm.
anyway, I think
Yes,
Asia is
that's
having some
definitely that's
difficulties.
definitely true, Tito Rolly. That's
Yeah,
definitely true that women are really natural givers. Di ba? Parang they give life, they give the next life here on earth, and
mm,
like just like Mother Earth, it's so powerful how they give love,
but
and it's so unconditional.
yeah. I think Asia is hanging right now with
Yes,
some
yes, yes, Tito
beliefs.
Rolly.
And
So,
I would say with D here, yeah, yeah, she's back right now. She's back. And with D here, I think she can convince Asia. She can convince Asia to deal with men also. I would say because uh, in love there's always equal treatment, the men and the ladies. I would say, isn't it? D, tama ba o
Yes,
mali? Oh,
yes, I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah.
yeah. Help us convince Asia to deal with men also. Because being a good coach,
Of course.
I would say, uh, you you cannot deal with one gender alone, because love is consists of two genders always. It cannot
mhm,
be
Of course.
always one side of a coin, I would say.
yes. But then
That's
it's
true.
just the same thing that we all need to love ourselves. This most of the
That's
victims
why
right now are women's.
it's also for men, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, it's for everybody, Tito Rolly. Definitely, it's for everybody. But then, most of the victims
oh, no,
are
no, no,
women,
no,
right?
no, 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 I
No,
don't agree
we
with that.
don't, Tito
That's
Rolly.
why,
We don't have to discuss about this, okay? What I'm just telling,
because
in
I was a victim
general,
also. I was a victim
y-
also.
yes, yes. But
Somebody, diretsuhan ako.
yes,
My
I
partner
do believe, yes.
went on the other side of the coin.
Yes, yes, I believe on that, Tito Roll, because love is unconditional for everybody, It's like, as we all believe on our beliefs, let's say. Uh, there are
Well,
issues that we really need to make, uh, we need to push. There are issues that we need to push and help this in needs.
Mhm.
Okay,
yeah.
especially that there are really people that really are in need of someone to talk to.
That's always
Yeah.
the
This
case. That's always the case. I agree.
Yes, definitely. It's
Isn't it, Asia? That's always the
I
case.
so just based off what I do agree that everyone needs self-love, women and men, but there's also stores that are catered to women, there's stores catered to men,
That's
um
true.
because of their audience, right? So
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that for example, Victoria's Secret, right, that's a predominantly women
Mhm.
store
Yes,
catered to
but
women, but it
it's
doesn't mean men can't come. It's just the products are more catered to women. So
right, right.
Yes.
Agree.
that's how that's technically why I choose to work with women, because my coaching caters more to people
But
who
Victoria's Secret is
identify
owned by
Ito.
Victoria's Secret is owned by a guy. You know that.
as women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's one question from I think
Arlene Perez.
Arlene Perez. Asia, do you?
Asia, do you have specific target group in your coaching method?
Asia?
Oops, I'm frozen.
That's owned by Asia.
My Wi-Fi is going so slow now. What was the question?
It's the screen.
One of our listener has a question. Asia, do you have a specific target group in your coaching method?
I don't just women, but most of my clients are millennials, but I don't have a specific age group. No.
Good, good.
So it's for everybody. It's for all age. For teens. So what's the oldest, if you don't mind? What's the oldest on age
Don't talk about the
of
old.
your client? No, no, no. I mean,
think about the chronological
About the age. I don't know how to. I really don't know how to address that.
I just onboarded someone who is 45 yesterday.
45. Yeah. Can you imagine that? And she's 45 years old, and now she's reaching out. That's the key. We need to reach out, just like what Asia said earlier.
Yeah.
That we need to reach out. This is the first process that we need to do. Yeah. Hey, I have to reach out.
So going back, oncology means it does. You offer this only on online, right? But does it gives? Do you operate in a personal basis, Asia?
Currently no, because of COVID.
Yes, yes. Forget about COVID. I mean, do you do this in a one-on-one thing on a personal basis? Uh, Forget about pandemic. Suppose the pandemic ends, and it's soon to end actually, because there are 6 states that open up already, and they even take off their mask. That's why when it comes to this point, will you operate on one-on-one basis?
So COVID or not, I actually like I like it being on computer on Zoom because I do have PowerPoints as well, and it's a lot more convenient on both ends because I have clients from the other side of the world as well, so it's nice to be able to reach everyone and not be constrained by in person.
Oh, I see. Because for me, it's really nice to talk one-on-one. Especially when you deal on psychology. Uh, there's definitely a person-to-person contact is better. That's how I feel. But so you don't agree with it?
I It's not that I don't agree with it. I just think that especially I live in a city, so a lot of people are very busy. So it's a lot more time efficient to meet online in person or than in person. So I would be up for in person in the future.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
I do agree. I did therapy, in person, so it was nice
yeah,
to be face to face with someone.
yeah. Isn't it? If you really do therapy and being part of being a psychologist, because oncology is synonymous to psychology, isn't it? That it. So it's better to have a person to person, right?
Yeah, I would be open to that in the future.
Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Hmm.
That's good because you know, eye contact is always better than being in Zoom,
Hmm.
right? Yeah.
Correct. I think in person anything is better than virtual.
Yeah.
I miss going to conferences and events, live events.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Any more questions? Good afternoon, Cory Lalangan from Portland, Oregon. Yeah, that's the one who's listening also. Anyway, any more question? D, Alvin? And before you
Uh,
go, yes, Asia.
to Arlene Perez, no, I said most of my clients are millennials, but I don't discriminate with age. No. So anyone could really.
Even my age, you gotta agree to coach.
Yeah, whoever. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have a certain age group.
yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so much so, and it's almost ending time. Asia, thank you so much. And any more question from you, D and Alvin?
Mhm.
No, D.
No. not at this time. I believe she
Okay.
explained fully what we wanted to achieve.
Yeah. And okay. Thank you so much, Asia. And
Thank you
hopefully
guys.
we can have you back in our program and discuss more things about love, about, mental health issues and other things that you can offer.
Thank you guys so much for giving me a platform to share my story. Thank you for this wonderful setup where you can show my website and video. I'm gonna look into this streaming platform because it was so amazing. um, and just thank you for the opportunity and empowering my voice to reach others. And I'm very, very grateful to represent for my Filipino family. So thank you.
Yes, you should learn some of our dialects, I would
Oh, the
say. We're
next
in
time she will
Filipino.
be singing a Filipino song.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to learn what ecology is. Thank you,
And it's
Asia.
not only ecology, it's also self love. So, for everybody out there, um, I'm into this kind of program, this kind of coaching, because there's a lot who really needs help. And
Thank
the first step, it's
you.
always reach out. That's our word
Um,
for the day. It's reach out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So thank
you.
you very much, Aisha.
yes.
Okay, and this following curriculum is. By the way, before you go, Asia, can you do you have some friends to be greeted upon, or shout out to some of your friends? Because we're gonna greet our friends here too.
I think my mom is tuned in, so I just want to say hi to my mama if she's on here, and anybody on here who is from my islands, Northern Mariana Islands. Tita D said "Sizu is maasi Asia" in the chat, and that's thank you in my language. So if anybody is watching that is from my islands, hello and thank you everyone. Honestly, not even just from my islands, from everyone who's tuning in.
And what's the name of your mom?
Lucille.
Oh, Lucille. Thank you so much, Lucille, for having a good talk, I would say. Thank you, Asia. Asia Hilario, the certified apology. Bye. Anyway,
Bye, Aisha.
next our program is birthday greetings to our listeners who has been listening to us. Like, for example, Josie Pornell is celebrating her birthday today with my good friend Lil Marquez, who's now in California, formerly a co-worker of mine in an advertising uh, agency in the Philippines, Philippine Advertising Counselor. Anyway, also happy birthday today to Ampi Seto and Josephine Orate. And for March 12, Matt Amore, my cousin, whose family is from Hawaii, but is right now here in Seattle, a former employee at Boeing, a young cousin of mine. And also Jelly Lirio, inaanak yata ito ni D. Hindi ba? Si Jelly Lirio is celebrating her birthday on March 12th. And of course, on March 14, Noel De Jesus from Lakewood and Mimi Castillo, one of our Flow
Okay.
member here in Seattle. Okay, D, meron ka bang babatiin?
Yes, yes, of course. I just want to actually say I'm giving my wholehearted prayers to the bereaved family of Tracy Hunter because he passed away yesterday in Philippines 1:30 a.m.
Oh, I see.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about Tracy Grim Thunder. He passed away yesterday.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so Alvin, Ano ba?
Sa mga kababayan, syempre buhay pa rin po ang ating programa at maraming salamat po sa ating guest for today, Miss Asia Hilario. Discover yourself and love who you are unconditionally. Ayan. So for those who are interested on having help that needs help, maaari kayong lumapit at magpunta lamang sa asiahilario.com. Ayan. Maraming salamat, Asia. And also, ang ating po ngayong we still have some activity on INSP. Kasama po natin ang Renton at syempre ang COFAW, Farmers to Families. Ayan, ako, marami pa rin pinamimigay. Hindi na naubusan. Ay, grabe na dyan ha, Tito
Dito
Rolly.
tayo sa Renton Community Center on Tuesday, March 16 from 10:30 to 1:30. Kaya definitely, yung mga nakikinig, punta po kayo, pumila po kayo, and definitely you'll have lots and lots and lots of food. Alam mo, dito nga, Alvin, even D has heard this phrase. Whether mahirap ka, mayaman ka, or everybody is having a hunger feeling right now.
Yes.
Gutom, maraming naghihirap. Kaya ito, isang tulong ng COPAW to at ang mga membro natin kamukha ng C7 Law, PILAS, PASA, Cebu Alumni Association, Jose Rizal Foundation, yan ang mga nagtutulong-tulong para magkaroon tayo ng isang magandang pamimigay na food drive-by sa Renton.
Yes. Tama yan, Tito Rolly. Tamang-tama yan, Tito Rolly. At
Yan,
syempre,
sabi nga ni Kiko, teka muna, happy birthday to Nikki Aquino. Yan, happy birthday pala yan, yung isang nandun sa atin.
So, marami pa rin pa tayong information na kailangan ninyong malaman, kagaya rin po sa Renton pa rin. Tita D, We are not silent. Asian Counseling and Referral Service. Ayan, merong solidarity against anti-Asian hate crimes. Ayan.
Alam mo, masyado na, lumalala na yan. Kaya, go ahead. Basahin mo na, Alvin.
So, yun lang po. you can go to Asian Counseling and Referral Service on Facebook for other information. So, it's a call to action program po nila. So, ayan sa mga we hate violence. Kaya naman dito tayo sa isang peaceful and solidarity action na gagawin natin. Ayan, di ba?
Alam mo ba kung sino ang taga-ACRS na who's always listening with us? Si Efren Pascua. Yan. Kaya, Eli Uy is watching also. Maricres Valdez. Uy, ito co-host nga natin. Cory Lalangan from I would say Portland, Oregon. Coach Angie Perez Bernon. Kaya yan ang mga...
And still, syempre para sa mga gusto pa rin, Tita D na Tito Rolly, sa mga kailangan pa rin na makapagpa-vaccine na tayo, ang Walker Chapel AME Church. Okay, saan ba yan matatagpuan?
They have to call up for their 425-226-0124.
Yes, para po sa mga nakikinig po ngayon, it's a Moderna vaccine location. Yun po, gagawin po siyang Moderna vaccine location on March 20 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, if you know of everyone 50 years old and live in a multi-generational home, or is 65 and above, is eligible to get the vaccine at this time. So you can call the church at 425-226-0124 to schedule an appointment. They will be needing your name, address, birthday, and language spoken. And that is a message from Pastor Anna L. Jones.
Yeah, that's in Renton. Kaya you have to call up to make the schedule. Kasi yung Moderna is one-shot deal. I would say hindi ka na kailangan bumalik, hindi ka mukha ng Pfizer.
Ayan.
425-226-0124. Call up. Okay. Ayan. Ano pa ba ang atin?
At syempre, may mga balita pa rin tayo sa Pilipinas, mga kababayan. Kaya makinig na tayo sa mga balita natin. This is a wrap-up po. Local governments urge to penalize violations of health measures. Bakit kailangan? Sa tingin mo, Tita D, bakit kailangan i-penalize ang mga violators ng health measures? 'Di ba yung mga lumalabas diyan ng mga walang mask, yung mga gano'n, at mga hindi sumusunod sa protocol, dapat ba talagang i-penalize ang mga yan o bigyan ng multa at bigyan ng leksyon?
Well, I think so too. That they're supposed to be penalized because if you will let someone just be free with this, then everybody will do the same. So it's better to have that penalty or for such violation.
Kaya
Ayun.
sa Pilipinas lang naman yan. Hindi naman dito yan.
Pero actually dito sa Italy talagang pinupukpok, may mga instances na pinupukpok nila yung mga tao na hindi sumusunod sa mga health protocols dito 'Di ba? Napupulis talaga at talagang sinasakay sa patrol.
Wow.
Kasi
I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Masyado ng ano yan.
Kasi
masyado ng paghihigpit sa freedom yan.
yes, kasi naman binigyan naman tayo ng gobyerno ng mga dapat gawin at syempre, respeto na rin dun sa mga sumusunod, ano? Respeto na rin dun sa mga nag-iingat, no? Kaya kailangan talaga lahat, 'di ba? Kung sino
I would
nagkamali,
say,
matuto ng leksyon.
Hindi, Alvin. Alam mo, kailangan palakas kayo ng immune system. Kasi ito, just like before, hindi ba?
Yes po.
We never. Natakot ka ba noong 2008? Tatanong ko sa iyo. Kaya,
Okay, guys.
let's just be, palakas tayo, sumunod tayo sa mga utos, like wash your hands. Kasi standard cleaning,
Yes po.
mag-sanitize kayo kapag Iyan ang mga isang kailangan sundin natin para hindi tayo marumi. Kaya nga yung si Isko Moreno, makita mo yung paglilinis. Ang linis ngayon ng Maynila. I think it's one way of helping na wag kumalat ang mga diseases, right?
Yes. Yes po.
Oh.
Pero yun naman po ay mula sa balita ng mula sa penal ordinances to force compliance with public health measures. Syempre, may mga sinet na mga po ang ating gobyerno, ng mga protocols, kaya naman po para maiwasan ang multa, kailangan po tayong sumunod at huwag matigas ang ulo dahil ito naman po ay sabihin nating para naman po sa lahat. Ayan.
Hindi, para yan sa mga pasaway. Kaya
yes po, ayun nga po para po sa mga pasaway lang naman yan Kung pasaway ka talagang And now, isa po Tito Rolly, na ating balita ay joblessness breeds joblessness. Senator urge mass inoculation to get people back to work. Ayan. 'Di ba? So para po sa mga iba nating senador, kagaya ni Recto at ni Villanueva po, ay sana po after na kailangan makabalik na sa ekonomiya ang ating bansang Pilipinas. Dahil kung ganitong laging
Pilipinas, pati tayo na.
Yes. Opo, lahat naman, para po sa lahat. Ito po yung balita natin mula sa Pilipinas. Siyempre, pare-pareho naman po tayo ng sitwasyon ngayon, pero para po sa kanila ay once na ma-roll out na po yung vaccine para sa ating mga frontliners, sana naman po daw ay maisunod na yung mga taong magtatrabaho. Correct. Para naman masimula na rin yung ekonomiya natin, di ba? Tama lang naman nga naman. No?
Oo naman. Alam mo, importante yung ekonomiya. I think everybody, lahat makikinabang pag tumaas ang ekonomiya. Hindi ba? Dahil
yes,
kung walang ekonomiya, everybody will suffer. Kaya ganyan.
Yes. Kasi kailangan rin lang naman siguro, Tito Rolly, ng logic rin lang naman sa sitwasyon. Kasi parang everybody is experiencing the same thing all over the world. It's like, minsan sigaw sila ng sigaw sa Pilipinas.
Maging sa Amerika at maging sa Pilipinas. At
yes.
I would say. Kaya let's work out na maibalik ang ekonomiya. At lahat huwag na tayong matakot lumabas. Ewan ko ba, bakit yung mga ibang tao takot.
Ayun, so that's it.
Kasi nagkaka-COVID.
Ayun nga po.
Mag-ingat sila. Ibig sabihin, lakasan nila yung kanilang immune system. Lakasan niyo. Huwag kayong magpapakagutom. Ibig sabihin, marami pa naman tayong makakain. Kamukha nga ng ginagawa ng coalition, ng COPAW. namimigay tayo ng pagkain, hindi ba? Para sustain yung mga minerals natin.
Ayan. So, yun.
Okay. Sabi nga ni Arlene Perez, I heard from a friend in Arizona, they don't wear mask anymore. 6 na nga states ang binubuksan. Yeah,
Yes.
hopefully, tayo dito sa Washington, mabuksan
Yeah, it will take, ano naman yung turn naman natin sa ganun, di ba? Siyempre, we leave it to the professionals, Sigang.
Kailangan na mabuksan talaga.
Yes,
sometimes kasi nagkakaroon ng political yan eh.
Yes po.
Kung hindi nga hinaluan yan, tapos na yan eh.
Yes po.
Anyway. Yan. Anyway, okay. Yes, D. Anything?
No, I just want to greet Josie Pernella happy birthday. I forgot to mention earlier.
Hindi.
So
Binati
hopefully,
natin.
Oh, you did. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Makakalimutan ba natin yan? Membro ng C7 Law yan.
Oh, yes.
That's
Definitely.
right.
Hindi na.
That's right.
So,
Okay.
isa na namang napakagandang araw na naman ang nangyari. At simula pa lang ang araw nyo dyan sa Seattle.
Ngayon pa lang umiinit.
Ngayon pa lang umiinit.
Sarap lumabas. Gusto ko na nga mag-voting.
Oh, yes, that's right. We need to take the boat out, huh?
Yeah. Kaya nga,
Yeah.
hindi ba? Okay. Paalam na tayo. I think sumobra na tayo sa ating
Yes.
oras.
Okay, so Tita D, anyway, last message po sa ating mga kababayan.
D, go ahead. Paalam na tayo.
Well, seems like my Wi-Fi is going up and down, so this is a time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone, and see you next time. Take care.
Alvin.
So mga kababayan, ang atin namang syempre, ang atin naman natutunan ngayong araw na to, syempre self-love. Kaya bakit nga ba importante na mahalin natin ang sarili natin, ano? So we really have to, kasi this life is only one, ano? Kung mahirap hanapin pa sa iba ang pagmamahal sa sarili. Kaya nga sarili, mauna nating mahalin yung sarili natin bago ang iba, kasi hindi natin pwedeng isatisfy yung puso natin at maghanap pa rin ng iba. O kaya unahin natin na tayo yung magmahal sa sarili natin. That is self-love. Ano? Kasi mahirap yung para bang papaano nga kung sa mundo nag-iisa ka na at hindi mo pa mahal ang sarili mo. So kahit ang Diyos magagalit sa'yo. 'Di ba? So tayo mga tao, kailangang mahalin natin yung sarili natin dahil ito binigay lang sa atin ng Panginoon natin. Kaya pangalagaan at mahalin talaga natin ang sarili natin. At syempre, dahil sa napag-usapan natin 'yon, kung ikaw naman ay nangangailangan ng isang tao na gusto mong makausap, you just have to reach out. That's the word, reach out. Pag hindi natin kaya minsan sarili natin, we reach out to God. Pero dito sa katawan lupa natin, we reach out with people. We reach out with other person, no? So, ayun, kagaya ni Asia Hilario, na-discover niya sa sarili niya yung pwede niyang gawin para makatulong sa iba. Di ba? That's why there is Asia Hilario life coaching and about self-love, and it's not just that. Yung mga taong ganito na na-discover nila papaano labanan ang lahat ng mga negativity sa buhay ay napaka-importante. Kaya we need to start reaching out to real and good people, positive people, at syempre mag-reach out din kayo kay God. Yun, maraming salamat.
Okay, so much so, and definitely maraming salamat kay Asia Hilario, who has been our guest talking about Achology, which is a new thing to self-esteem and everything. Gaya lang sabi ni Alvin, don't forget yourself. Alam mo, you can always reach out with somebody, with your friend. Alam mo, may gabay na always. But first and foremost, don't forget yung ating gumagabay na pirmi sa atin at parating umiibig sa atin ang ating Panginoon, our love for Jesus. I would say, Pero batiin mo naman, Erwin, yung kaibigan mo na si Erwin Gray. Yan, sabi niya, hi po, Sir Alvin. Pinopo ka rin pa dyan sa Italy. Kala ko ako lang
Ay,
ang
maraming
pinopo.
salamat, Erwin. Maraming salamat, Erwin.
Anyway, maraming salamat po sa lahat pong nakinig sa amin at sa susunod na Lunes, itong dadating na Lunes, we have Vicky Navarro as our guest. Kaya abangan nyo po kung ano sasabihin ni Vicky. And definitely, Celia Feliciano for California is also watching. Maraming salamat. And to all, don't forget to wash your hands, stay in a nice immune system, at follow the godliness and cleanliness. Magandang hapon po.
Diyos maasi.